We're going to get started. Good morning, Independence. All right, as you can tell, this is the first time that Lisa Wilson has not been up here at the helm, so this might be entertaining or it might be embarrassing. I'm not sure which one it'll be. Anyway, on behalf of the Independence Chamber of Commerce and the City of Independence, I welcome you all here today to First Friday. So before we hear from our guest speakers, please help me thank the morning business sponsor, USD 446 Educational Foundation. As our business sponsor, the foundation has paid for and provided all these wonderful that are gone. So there's no seconds. And if you got here late, you missed out. There is a little bit of fruit, but there's some great coffee over there from Annie Mae's. So with that, would you please welcome the USD 446 Educational Foundation President, Miss Jean Lunt.
Good morning. I thought probably she'd do cartwheels or flips or something. I remember in April when we could build cheerleaders 5 high and she'd get up on the top and tumble down. Anyway, I'm Jean Lunt, and we sponsored this event. I'm sorry that you ran out of food. I wasn't in charge of ordering it. I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the USD 446 Educational Foundation. You have brochures on the table. The foundation became part of the Community National Bank's Trust in January of 2011. Presently, we have 20 board members. Some of us wore our shirts today. Some of us are sitting over here. Some of us are not sitting with us. I have no idea. It's Steve McBride. What would you expect? Going from bank interest to trust earnings gave the foundation a much better return on our money. What do? We provide scholarships annually. We provide 2 $500 scholarships to graduates of Independence High School who are juniors and seniors at Canis University from the Community National Bank. We also provide 2 $500 scholarships for Mercy Hospital Auxiliary. Those ladies raised a lot of money. This past May, 38 scholarships in the amount of $24,640 were awarded to Independence High School graduating seniors. This would be an average of $650, but the actual scholarships range from $200 to $2,000. These scholarships have been set up by family and friends through the bank. You may recognize some of their names: Tina Schicky-Layton, Annette McMillan, Stacy Klubine, Connie Boner, Catherine Kidd, Yana Brown Julian, Dr. Charles Mock, Andrew Metcalf. The recipients of the scholarships are either selected by family or friends or counselors and teachers. This is determined by the wishes of the donor of the scholarship. The criteria for receiving a scholarship are also set up by the donor. What else do? This is my plug. We supplement the Stuff the Bus. School supplies for students are left in containers around our community. If the goal is not met, we provide the deficit. This year, the bill will be $7,000. Jim Kelly ramrods this. $4,250 has been raised. Still need $2,750. Thank you to those who have already donated. We sponsor the Bulldog Bags for the Back to School Bash, which is Monday, April 13th. This event will be different this year. It will be near the swimming pool at Riverside Park, with the pool party for the students from 5:30 to 7:30. Booths will open at 5:15 along North 5th Avenue from Oak to Stadium. So if you're going to the bash, Don't go down Fifth Avenue. The Bulldog bags can still be purchased for $1, which gives you a hot dog, chips, cookies, and water. I remember a man saying to me with a very large family, "I am feeding my family for $10 tonight." We subsidize that cost because you can't hardly get anything for $1 anymore. We also provide $2.50 per student to each of the schools for needs that aren't in the school budget: glasses, rent, shoes, jackets, and other emergency things. This year, it will be based on 2007 students in the amount of approximately $5,000. We sold the pieces of low-C gym floor as a fundraiser. The industrial arts class at the high school made them for a foundation. Scott Knoll and Hank Modich were our great salesmen. We are still selling them, $75 for that wonderful piece of art. I have applications. The last thing that we do is, if teachers do not have a big enough budget for something in their classroom, they can apply through the classroom enhancement application. The foundation is a 501c3, so the donations are tax deductible. You can be an annual sponsor or remember a loved one with a scholarship to the foundation. Remember, all of this money is used to support our students here in Independence.
Mrs. Lunt and the team, thank you very much for all that you do for our students and our teachers here in the community. Well, I'm excited for the next event that's getting ready to take place. You're all in for a treat. We have a very special presentation today. So with that, we have a very deserving individual, but we have somebody who's going to present it. So will Mr. Jim Kelly, our state representative, and our police chief, Jerry Harrison, please come up front. Okay.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today for a reason to honor a police officer that has been honored several times. But Charlie Benedict, and Charlie, would you come up front?
We have an event.
Actually, during the school year, I had Charlie's son Luke and his wife Brandy come to Topeka, and Luke was my page in Topeka, and they were telling me that Charlie would be in Topeka to receive an honor later during that time period after we paged. And then I received an email from the Police Chiefs Association saying this group of officers has been honored for valor. And I looked down the list, and there was Charlie's name. And so it was a very special, and I wanted to do something. One of the things that we can do is to get the House of Representatives to recognize someone for an achievement. And so that's what we have here, and I don't want to belabor because you've got a lot to cover today, but this was very special, and I wanted to do it. The House of Representatives, it's a tribute, and I requested the tribute that all known that offering and honoring Charlie Benedict, Independence Police Department, for receiving the 2017 Silver Award for Valor from the Kansas Association of Chiefs of Police in recognition of outstanding service as a law enforcement member, specifically for approaching an armed man and disarming him without incident or loss of life. Officer Benedict's dedication to his community is exemplary, going above and beyond the call of duty as he stands watch over his fellow citizens. So I thought that if anything deserved doing this from a House certificate, it was this. Very proud of you, Officer Benedict and the awards that you've received, but I wanted to have a little extra recognition and have waited for a good time to do this, working with the chief, and we decided that this first Friday would be a good time to present this to you, so congratulations.
Charlie, thank you. I can tell a couple of little stories on Charlie. He is all sorts of young kids' heroes. It's Officer Charlie, they always yell. We had one day down at Penn Terrace, we were unloading after a party, and all of a sudden, here comes Officer Charlie. And I'm like, oh, I get nervous. Is something happening at Penn Terrace? No. Officer Charlie saw that we were unloading a bunch of tables and chairs and stopped off just to help. Also, Officer Charlie goes down once or twice a month to play and sing with attendants at Penn Terrace. So not only is he incredibly brave, but incredibly generous. So thanks, Charlie. Okay, all of you, grab your calendars, because as Independence is, we are not boring around here. We have plenty of things going on. I'm going to hit the highlights. Some people are also going to come up at the end and give some shout outs to some of the activities. But, all right, starting off, August 3rd, the Independence Public Library will have their Buds and Suds, Josie and the Pussycats. So come down August 3rd at 4:30. The library has tons of other programming. If you're not familiar with it, please go on to their website or go by the library and get a list. They have a booklet full of activities. All right, August 4th, Farmers Market. Remember, it's every Saturday through August. So we're almost finished with our Farmers Market, so get out there and get your goodies. Also on August 4th, this Saturday, Community Recycling Collection Day. It's done at the sanitation yard. You can bring all your recyclables down there. As you remember, we've had so many participation that the City of Independence is opening it up on Tuesdays as well from 11 to 1, so you don't have to hoard everything for a month. You can get rid of it weekly. So come on down to the sanitation yard either this Saturday or every Tuesday from 11 to 1. August 7th, Mid-Continent Band. They will be performing their last performance Tuesday night. If you haven't gone down there to see it, I was there a couple of weeks ago when they did Christmas in July, and there was a huge crowd. It was really nice and great music, so get out there and enjoy that. We have August 7th, 8th, and 10th. Independence runs back to school. It's going to be done at Shelfus Stadium. They're going to have the community fun run. The other 2 days are for kind of the students, but the last day on Friday is going to be for the community. So come out and run with them, or just come out, cheer for all those runners, and then get ready for the pep rally at the end. August 8th, St. John Clinic will have their free sports physicals at 800 West Laurel. Also on August 8th, Montgomery County Public Safety Kids Camp. I think this is the first year for this in conjunction with Vet Health. And my understanding is the camp is full. They've had more students than what they anticipated, so sounds great for first year out. August 11th is the 11th annual Blake Birdie Triathlon. I think they had a bake sale yesterday, and I think they sold out. So they're also raising funds for the graduating class this year. It would be the year that Miss Blake would have graduated. So they are going to give some scholarships in honor of her. So get out and support the Blake Birdie Triathlon. Also on August 11th, Main Street Block Party. It's an ICC fall kickoff. It'll be in downtown from 4 to 6. So get your blue and gold and come out and enjoy the kickoff to the ICC Pirate season. August 13th, Independence goes back to school celebration. As Mrs. Luntz said, they're going to change it up a little bit this year. It's going to be a pool party, so come out and watch the kids. On August 17th, please come and help with the blood drive. As always, it's important, and they need our support. Also on August 17th, it's going to be the kids' night at All Wheels Night Cruisin'. This is where they're downtown, and you get to see all of the great cars that the gentlemen and ladies bring down. So come and enjoy the All Wheels Night Cruise in Indy on August 17th. August 18th, we have a great group out of the Wesley Center that's going to be giving away free shoes for kids. They're going to have a distribution. August 20th, those here in the community that have an interest in the Chamber's Leadership Independence Program, you have till August 20th to get your application in. I won't say how long ago I graduated, 2000, from Leadership Independence. It was a great program, and it gives you a look into the community. It gives you great leadership tools and skills. So if you are a business leader here and you may have a new employee that you want to help get involved in the community, I encourage you to think about having them apply for that. On August 21st, Young Professionals of Independence, they're going to have Jody Hayes as one of their summer speaker series. August 24th, we are getting ready for some Bulldog football. They're going to have their IHS scrimmage. They will also have volleyball at 4 o'clock. They will have soccer at, I've lost my place, 6 o'clock. And they will have football at 7. So get out and get your orange and black and get ready for all of the fall season sports. Also, Young Professionals will have their night golf tournament on August 24th. That sounds interesting and fun. I'm no longer 40-ish, so I won't be participating. But August 25th, we have our free downtown family movie night. It will be Despicable Me 3. Say that one quickly. We've had 2 so far and this will be our 3rd one for the season. So bring those kiddos down, and pre-show starts at 7:30 with showtime at 8:30 because it is getting darker sooner. And finally, but not, I'm just hitting highlights, so if I've missed something, please check your calendar. But we will have August 25th, Independence Community College will have its 15th annual high school edition of the 24-hour plays. So get out and watch those as well. All right. As you know, the Chamber works really hard at keeping information. So if you have an event going on or you're wanting to know what's going on in the community, if you have those events, let the Chamber know so they can get it on the calendar. For those of you who want information, they're getting it out in all sorts of ways. So if you don't know what's going on, I encourage you to get out from underneath the rock you're under. So the Chamber gets information. You can get it from their website, their Facebook page, Get Independence. If you haven't liked Get Independence, do so. Great information. They put out flyers. There's flyers on the table that cover all sorts of events that are going on. What's up in Independence and the calendar of events flashed and published in the Reporter. They have table tents downtown throughout the community. They also do live radio spots, KIND, Friday afternoons at 4:50. And they tape a community calendar that runs Monday through Friday on 102.9 and KIND. And page 2. They do morning interviews at 8:15 on KJGF 690 AM. That's replayed throughout the week. So please, you've got plenty of opportunities to get information. Again, if you've got information you want the community members to hear and see and know about your event, contact the Chamber. Let them get it on their calendar. All right. With that said, we're going to move on to our speakers for today. I'm excited to get to introduce our first speaker. He is no longer new to the community. Jason McAfee, he is the high school principal. This is his 2nd year with USD 446. So I'm anxious to hear how your first year went and what's happening new here at IHS. So with that, would you please help me welcome Jason McAfee?
Thank you, and thank you for that introduction. Before I get started, I'd just like to say thank you to the Education Foundation and the Chamber. I know Lisa's not here, but really do appreciate her support and the opportunity to come out here and speak to you guys, tell you what's going on at IHS and kind of the direction that we're headed. As April said, beginning to start my second year, I remember it was about a year ago that I stood up here and had just moved to town less than a month ago or last year, and I was kind of introducing myself, and I remember talking about how impressed I was with the community, at least my first impression. And I can tell you, everything since then has just supported that. You guys really do have a really unique community here, a lot to be proud of. Just the fact that we have all these people here on a Friday to come out and listen to things going on really shows a level of engagement that you don't find everywhere else. And so I'm proud to be part of this community, and it really is a great place to live and work and raise kids. As April says, my second year, one thing I brought to Independence High School, kind of I don't know if I call it a tradition or a process, but we like to start every meeting that we have, whether it's just me and my two assistant principals or whether it's the entire staff. We like to start with what we call good things. And so we kind of open it up. I can't open it up to everybody here today. I'm not going to do that. But kind of open it up and just let people share what things that are good that are happening, whether that's something in their personal life or in their classroom or professionally. We just like to start every meeting talking about some positive things going on with our staff, with our school, whoever we're meeting with. And kind of in that tradition, I'm going to model that a little bit today. I'd like to tell you just a couple of good things that are going on at Independence High School. I don't know if you guys are familiar with U.S. News and World Report, but they come out with a ranking every year of the high schools, not just in the state of Kansas, but in the entire nation. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but you can go to U.S. News and World Report, look at their high school rankings. And our high school, Independence High School, shows up in their national rankings. Not every high school shows up in those rankings. You can also go to the state rankings, and our high school shows up in those state rankings. Not every high school in the state of Kansas is in those state rankings. There's about 360, I'm not exactly sure, but around 360 high schools, I think, in the state of Kansas. And only about 40 of those high schools are actually ranked. And so when you think about that, that puts us in the top 40. So we really do got a lot of good things going. And I'm going to give a shout out to our elementary schools and our middle schools as well, because those schools and those teachers and those staffs, they're also part of that ranking because they prepare the kids for the high school experience. And so a lot of that credit goes to them just as much as it does IHS. I tried to figure out where exactly IHS was in that ranking. Are we number 1? Are we number 40? It's really kind of hard to pinpoint. They base their rankings on performance on state-required tests and how well students are prepared for college. And the best that I could kind of pinpoint is we're probably somewhere between number 26 and number 36, which puts us probably in the top 10% in the state of Kansas. Can't say that definitively, but I can say we're in the top 11% according to those rankings in U.S. News and World Report. So that's a really positive thing for our community, for our education system. U.S. News and World Report, they're known around the world. And I dug into some other places that kind of grade, throw out numbers like that. And I had a presentation. I can't find my flash drive. It's got to be buried in the bottom of my truck. And so I had some things I was going to show you. I'm not able to do that. But I looked at some other institutes that I was going to show up here. And the point I want to make is that they kind of support that. We really do have one of the better high schools in the state of Kansas. Now, that's kind of where we're at. That's a snapshot of where we're at. What are we doing? I mean, it's not good enough to just be a top 10% school in my mind. What are we doing? It's great, but what are we doing to improve that? How do we get in the top 5%? How do we become a top 10 school? I mean, how do we become better than what we are? And our State Department of Education has outlined a few things that they would like all schools to focus on. And one of the things that they would like us to focus on is post-secondary success. So think about that for a second. Post-secondary success of our students. And so this is, what are our students doing after they leave us? And so that's something that we're going to start to focus on. Not just how many kids we get across the stage. That's important. Graduation rate, that's important. We're improving that. But what are these kids doing What are the successes that they're having after they leave us? If we do a good job at educating our kids, they should leave us and go out and become successful in the world. And the State Department of Education is starting to measure that. They're measuring whether these kids, not just in college, whether they're in a 2-year college or a 4-year college, but do they have work-ready certificates? Are they joining the military? They're starting to look at these things. And so we've started a program at Independence High School. We've actually got a few programs, but the one I want to focus on today is a new program that we're starting. It's called JAG, and that stands for Jobs for America's Graduates. And it was a program I know Mr. Kelly, the representative, he started talking to I think our superintendent about that either a year or two ago, and it's became something that we're actually doing at Independence High School this year. And it involved us hiring a career specialist, and I'm going to introduce her in just a minute and give her a chance to talk. And I don't want to steal too much of her thunder, but I do want to explain the purpose of JAG. And the purpose of JAG is to prepare students for life after high school. And I think this is a perfect venue to introduce her, because one of her main jobs is going to be to go out in the community and talk to people who may be attorneys or who may be truck drivers, who may own a small business, and see if they can get them to maybe partner or come into IHS and give a little presentation on what it's like doing whatever work that you guys do out there, and talk to maybe 3 kids or talk to maybe 15 kids. And so trying to bridge that gap between the world of work and IHS, and then also to maybe send some kids out to those places of business to see what it's like on the job, or to get an idea of whether it's something that is truly a passion of theirs that they may want to pursue. And so I'm going to introduce Christy Howley. She is our JAG Career Specialist. One of the best things about Mrs. Howley is I'm not going to say what year she graduated, but she graduated from Independence High School in the mid-1990s, and so she is a Bulldog. And so she is our JAG Career Specialist. I'm going to turn it over to her and let her talk for just a little bit. So.
Thank you, Mr. McAfee. Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christy Hawley, and I'm a 1997 graduate from Independence High School. And then I went on to Emporia State and pursued my education degree. And I also taught at Emporia High School, where I built a program that's similar to what we're implementing today. And so I've got a lot of experience doing so. And JAG, or we like to say JAG-K, because JAG is our national program, JAG-K is our Kansas program. So JAG-K, it's a multi-year program. We're going to start with our freshmen, kind of get their feet wet a little bit, and then move on to our juniors and seniors. And what we do here is a project-based learning program. They come in and we say, okay, what do you guys want to do? What is your career focus? What is your want? And then once we determine that, then we are going to work with the community and you guys to bring you all in and speak with our kids. If I want to be a doctor, okay, well, let's go visit the hospital. Let's go see what a doctor does every day. Let's do all the research that we can to make sure that you are prepared for what you want to do. Now, some of our kids are not going to go to a 4-year college or beyond and seek those kind of degrees, and we understand that. So our huge focus is, what are they going to do in the workforce directly after high school for the ones that won't move on? Because we've got other programs at the high school like AVID that are going to focus a lot on the college side. So we've got kids that want to be welders. What can we do to get them into the community? Can we bring welders in? Can we go outside in the parking lot and have a demonstration? Can we go on a field trip? Can we go on visits and just see what somebody does every day? Things like that. We've also are working with the kids on something did you not think of that you wanted to do. We've got some kids that I've spoke to that I know that's on my roster that are interested in technology. Well, there's tech schools here, but there's also tech schools in Texas. Some of them are very interested in underwater robotics. Well, what kind of degree or what kind of certificate do you need for that? We're working on kind of keeping that flow of communication open for that. And there's a lot of things that we can do. And we want to keep our kids on focus for graduation as well. JAG Kansas as a whole has a 92% graduation rate. and that's over 500 students that were in a JAG-K program last year. So we graduated 92% of our students, and that's really, really a fantastic number. So I'm going to be out in the community a lot and speaking to all of you because I want our students, when they leave Independence High School, I want them to know how to come in and approach you guys and say, hi, my name is Christy Hawley, and I was wondering if you were interested in doing some job shadowing, or I really, really want to, see what you guys do here, or ask for an interview, see if you're hiring. So I want my students to leave my class completely prepared and just have those basic competencies that a lot of times they don't have. They don't have those interpersonal skills. They are very focused on their cell phones and their video games, and they're not learning those skills. And that's something we kind of have a disconnect. And I want to reconnect my students and really work on those skills and get them ready. As soon as they leave high school, they know what they want to do, and they know how to get there. And that's really our focus for JAG, is to really prepare those students. And a lot of our students, we have a selection process, and we take from students from all ranges, but a lot of it is the bottom 25% of their class. So it's these kids in the community that sometimes, lack of a better term, fall through the cracks. So we're gonna focus on those kids, and we are gonna support them. We support them for 12 months after graduation as well. So as soon as, when they leave high school, they don't leave me behind. I follow them for a full year and get them what they need, help them through their life, because that is a big change right after high school. So they're going to have me. And I actually still have, I was telling Mr. McAfee a little bit ago, I have kids that I had in Emporia High School 13 years ago that I still talk to. I have a young lady that just graduated from cosmetology school, and she says, Miss Christy, I learned the coolest thing. Can you please come let me do your hair? It's amazing. So I did, and it's amazing, right? Right? So, these kids, we are here to be their champions. We are here to focus on the kids, and I am so excited to be a part of Independence High School. And I can't wait to get out in the community and meet with all you guys. I'm really excited. I've got some cards here with my contact information. If you're interested in coming to be a speaker, if you would like some students to come and tour your business, job shadow, please reach out. And we would be more than happy to have you guys come in. And I thank you so, so much. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
And so, kind of in closing, today we have registration going on at Independence High School, and so Mrs. Howley and I will have to step out here shortly to go take care of that. So we won't be around at the end for questions, but if you guys, she will leave a card here if you're interested in getting in contact with her. Doors always open at Independence High School. We welcome you guys to come in, take a tour, just come in and chit-chat. It's your high school. It's not my high school or our high school. It's your high school. And so we welcome you to come in and visit with us anytime. Go Bulldogs. Thank you.
Jason and Christy, thank you. How exciting. Top 10%. Go Bulldogs. Exactly. All right. Our next speaker, we all know, Mr. Todd Young with Bill White Real Estate. Todd also serves as the Director of Realtors for the Independence Division. Todd's unique. He asked Lisa, can I speak? Interestingly enough. Anyway, with that, Todd wanted to get out some information. He says, everywhere I go, people are talking about, the Independence housing market. Yeah, it's doom and gloom, isn't it? Well, he's here to share that that's not quite the truth. He's here to share some good facts and some good factual information. So with that, Mr. Todd Young, would you please come to the podium?
Can everybody hear me? I think so. I was talking to Lisa a few weeks ago at a Main Street meeting about my job as a realtor, and I think one of the things that I don't like about it, I love my job, but people come up to me in public a lot And they'll say, really, Todd, what's the market like? I see your signs all over town. Nobody wants to move to Independence. I see all these houses for sale. So what's going on? Actually, that's not the case. Houses are moving in Independence, and we've been on an upswing for the past 3 years, and we expect it to go that way for quite a while. And there's all kinds of reasons why, and I'll touch on those. I am the director for Independence Southeast Kansas Multi-List Service. What happened was a couple, 3 years ago, Southeast Kansas decided to get all their eggs in one basket, so we all became one unit with Chanute, Independence, Parsons, Coffeyville, and all the other small towns around. We all worked together to rally, help each other out, and it has worked out quite well. Each of these towns has a director for the meetings, and then we have a president, and it's Julie Isley this year from Midwest Real Estate. She keeps us in line anyway. The role of the realtors play in the community, we do a lot of things. We do have a Food for Kids campaign, which we help feed children. We bring canned goods, dry items, and things to meetings. We applied for and received a $4,500 grant for Celebration Park, and that's something the realtors were just able to do, and we can't wait to see when that all comes around. We offer food and snacks for cancer support groups, and we also host political forums a couple times a year at the library with our state representatives. And then once a year, all the realtors, as many as we can, like to go to the state capitol to discuss property owners' rights and issues. So those are just some of the things we do. As far as the market in Independence, you're not going to see the huge spikes that you see and hear about in big cities. That's just not going to happen. But we are experiencing a pure and steady growth, and that's a good thing. If I can get this to... Whoops, I got it. Okay. Okay, one of the things that I think is really great is in 2016, 76 houses sold in the town of Independence, up through June. Right now, we have 94 homes being sold. That's a huge percentage-wise. You might think, 94 isn't that big a deal, but it is, considering that's just the town of Independence. Now, as far as average price, you can still get a very affordable home in this community. Some people might be surprised that the average home is right around $100,000, and it stays really pretty steady. That has not changed, which is good. A lot of the markets do change drastically, but one thing that helps us sell homes in Independence is that doesn't change too much. An average family can get a home for $100,000 or less. That's remarkable considering try to do that in Wichita and other places, and it just simply won't happen. People ask me all the time, why do people move to Independence? I really don't know. I went through my past sales. Everybody has a different story. The industry, of course, has helped us out a lot. What helps us is all you people here who are working very hard to keep businesses going in the Independence area. That always brings people, new engineers, younger people. We have more younger people coming in all the time. What has changed in our industry the most is media. People can look on Zillow, Realtor.com, those kind of things, and find a house. Julie Isley and I were talking. What amazes me is the number of people that moved to Independence that have never been here or know anything about it because they liked the house on the internet. At midnight, they were shopping and said, honey, this house looks really cool. I think we ought to live there. I'm not a gambler like that myself. I'd like to check it out first, but I'm always amazed. I just sold a $140,000 house the other day to some people that were driving through. Decided this ought to be cool, and now they live here, and they're going to be members of our community. I think that's really neat. I think the biggest role the realtors play is we are sometimes the very first people that new people see. We have to sell this community. We can sell a house. There's only a certain number of houses to sell. They pick one, and that's it. But we have to sell our community. We have to take them around. And the reason I think that we are experiencing growth like we have, like I said, a good steady growth, is because we have so much to offer compared to other towns. We have a great park. We've got great people. We've got great education. Things like this, when you look around, really help us. So we take people, we show them what Independence has to offer. We help them fall in love with Independence. And then they want to live here and they want to stay here. We'd like to thank you all. You guys really have helped make the realtor's job easy by working hard in this community. So thank you.
Todd, thank you for your information. I think it's great. Moved here when I was in the 4th grade, went away to college and came back, and this is home. I can't imagine living anywhere else. I do agree with you, Todd. We have a phenomenal community and awesome people. So, all right. Our third speaker I'm excited to introduce is Miss Becky Brown. Becky and several others who are here with her today have spent the summer in Independence as interns with Textron Aviation. Not only have they taken this opportunity with Textron, but they have spent many hours giving back to the Independence community. I have had the opportunity to see this group in action, and I can say they're quite talented and quite awesome. So with that, would you please help me welcome Miss Becky Brown?
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Becky Brown. I'm a human resources intern at Textron Aviation. And like April said, I'm here to talk about some of the projects that we've been working in the community this summer. Okay, so here's our team. We had 10 interns at Textron Aviation this summer from all different places, and we were in a variety of different departments, from integrated supply chain to production operations to myself and HR. We are from a variety of universities and variety of hometowns, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce everyone. So we have Bjorn Funk from Kansas State. We have Craig Nelson from Kansas State. He's from Caney, so not too far away. Tessa Wells Martin from Oklahoma State. We have David Turpin here from Kansas State. Jaden Kozitz from OSU. Nicole Kristen from the University of North Texas. Kara Stead from Oklahoma State. And we have Ben Davis, Reed Williams, and myself, Becky Brown, all from Oklahoma State. So, like I said, we had a variety of different projects in our departments, and I believe that we were very successful in those this summer. But one of the things that Textron Aviation loves to do, especially in Independence, is really reach out to the community and give back. So they gave us that task. They gave their interns that task this summer. And so we had the pleasure of creating some projects for us to go out and give back to the community. So the first one I'll talk about is the community movie night that you guys had earlier in June. It was a special teen night. We had about 80 teens come out. And in the pre-show activities, we hosted 2 street games where teens could come and compete. The first one was a frisbee throw where they had to get some frisbees into buckets. The other one was they got to make their own paper airplanes and throw them to see how far that they could get. And depending on how many buckets they got or how far that they got to throw it, we gave them some prizes from Textron Aviation. This was a really fun night. It was a really great event to kick off the summer, and we had a lot of fun with it. The next one I want to talk about is we went to several nursing homes in the area. We brought we brought supplies to make crafts, and we brought felt and paper plates, and so we helped the residents make these little wreaths that they could put on their doors or decorate in their rooms. We also helped some of the facilities with their bingo games, helping the residents move pieces. And then what was really special is that some of our interns are musicians, and so you can see in the picture we brought guitars and they got to play some songs for the residents. And I think this was the coolest thing to me because they don't get a lot of exposure with live music, and so it was quite amazing to see their eyes brighten up and just to bring kind of a special atmosphere to those facilities. We went to these nursing homes because Textron Aviation does what's called a old-fashioned holiday in December, where our company works with local nursing homes to serve a dinner to their residents. And so we reach out to that community in December, but we wanted to kind of reach out to them again during the summer months, and so that's why we went to these nursing homes. The third one I want to talk about is that we had the Civil Air Patrol cadets come to our facility for a week and work side by side with our floor operators, rotating around to different departments. These cadets were from all over the country. And if you didn't previously know, the Civil Air Patrol is the official U.S. Air Force civilian auxiliary. They hold high school programs from ages 12 to 20. And so these cadets were from all over the country. They came to Independence, they stayed at ICC, and they came to our facility every day to really experience the airplanes that they might fly one day in an entirely different way. So they got to see the assembly of an airplane, painting it, etc. And that was a really, really cool experience for them. We had 17 cadets come to our facility this year, and this is the 14th year that Textron Aviation has hosted this in Independence. So it's a proud and strong tradition that we are really looking forward to continuing in the future. I put together a video so you can really see all the fun that we had in Independence. So without further ado. Round two. Okay. So lastly, I just want to say thank you to the Independence community. We're from different places. We were only here for about 2 months, but even in that short time, we really felt the hospitality and the kindness of this town. And we had such a pleasure giving back to the community that hosted us for this summer. So I just want to say thank you. If you want to meet us or have any questions, we'd love to meet you. So that's it. Thank you.
Becky, thank you. Textron, thank you for bringing in these incredible students to give them this opportunity. And we greatly appreciate you thinking enough to give back to the Independence community. We greatly benefited from all of your hard work. So thank you very much. And best of luck. Those of you going to K-State, that's a little hard for me. I'm going to go Jayhawks, but I'm sure you're a good kid anyway. So with that, we would like to move on to our fourth and last speaker for today. Our last speaker is Jason Brown. Jason is the head football coach for the Independence Community College Pirates. This is his third season with the Pirates. Jason came in on a 20-year losing streak and has turned the program upside down. This past season, Jason led the Pirates to a 9-2 winning record. The Pirates were the Jayhawk Conference champions, the first since 1987. He also led the Pirates to their first bowl game, beating NEO. Go Pirates. They finished the season ranked 6th in the nation. They are currently picked to win this year's Jayhawk Conference. But Jason isn't only passionate about being a coach, but he's also passionate about being a leader with his players in the classroom. So with that, would you please welcome Coach Jason Brown.
Appreciate it. Thought I was going to get booed. Just kidding. I'm not really a storyteller. I got a few stories, though, and usually my stories are what happened to me that day. We already had our football meeting this morning at 5:30, and so I went to McDonald's. So I've had a bad coffee day. I went to McDonald's to get coffee, and I was the only one in line. So I ordered my coffee. I don't ever go to McDonald's for coffee, by the way. I make my own, but I'm in there, and I have a meeting with my team at 5:30, so it's 5:20. And I can't be the leader and be late because I have to whisper sweet nothings to my players all the time for being late. So it's 5:26, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I got to get to the theater on campus in 4 minutes. And so I just said, is it coming soon? And she said, Coach, the person that makes coffee is not here. He's late. And I said, well, since I live in a result-oriented business, I told him I would have fired him. So I leave. I said, you know what? Take my money. You can have it. And I go. So I have to go to the meeting. I didn't get coffee. So we had 4 people that were missing our meeting, kids-wise. So I kind of whispered to my coaches to go get them in a nice way. And so the coffee kind of probably made my coaches a little bit upset with me today. It's probably good that I'm not at practice right now either, because we're at practice. The second story is I talked to Nick Saban yesterday. We have the number 1 player in America, Brittany here? Brittany over there helped us get, his name's Jermaine Johnson. His girlfriend goes to Indy, and he's now the number 1 player in America. And he committed to Georgia last night, University of Georgia. 247 Sports is a big media outlet. They flew in to interview us, and Netflix filmed it. But Nick Saban called and said, can I get him? Is it too late? And I said, well, and so before that, we were talking about the show and it being on Netflix, and he was just like, people don't realize I'm glad I don't get filmed because there's not much difference. I'm just glad I'm not on film. And I said, well, I'll swap you. I'll take your $9 million job and you can be filmed at Indy, and I'll get you Jermaine. And so obviously I don't think he's going to go for it. But this real fast is, I'm going to walk around. I don't need the mic, I hope. Because I learned.
Sorry, Coach. You do because
I'm
we're
sorry.
friends.
Gotcha. I go through trials and tribulations. My first two predecessors here had a struggle with this deal. And I noticed that. And so I'm an observer by nature. And so I'm going to go over here so it works properly. So ignorance is life-threatening. So I got to be ahead of the curve. So this is something I made for us today, just so you know what's going on in Indy football with the program. Still don't work, so I'm ignorant. Maybe I should have stayed over there, huh? Does it work from the laptop? I can stand at the laptop and do it too. There we go. So this is First Friday. I'm glad to be here. I thank you guys for having me. I put on here, it ain't about me, it's about us. That's our staff motto. That's kind of what we go by. So if April can't work this thing, it's going to be about me today. We're going to have problems. This is our motto since we took the job. I don't teach, so basically I don't teach in the classroom setting. I teach our guys a little more broad spectrum of what we do. So I teach them more about life skills, turning boys into men. So that's the education part that I preach. I also matriculate them, and that's not me in the classroom. That's me on the field with these guys in life in general. So I try to get them through the process of going to school by just attending school on time and sitting in the front row and not being late, so you don't work at McDonald's and serve coffee late. So that's what I preach to. Nothing against McDonald's. I just I try to get our guys to be CEOs of themselves, so they can kind of control their own destiny. And then we were trying to graduate our guys and earn them a scholarship. So, got me? Or did I do this? There you go. This is our football mission statement and core values that I created when I got the job. Everywhere I go, I kind of go about how the community is, how the school's set, how everything kind of works and ties into our football program. This is our mission statement: to build young men of character, demonstrate class and humility, to craft an atmosphere of hard work, effort, and discipline that permeates throughout our program, school, and community. Our core value is to accept the idea that we deserve to be champions, create a tradition, respect our traditions, create an environment, respect our environment, and make positive life choices, one in which we can all be a part of and contribute. Respect our environment's huge because our guys left some trash in our theater yesterday, and they're so gracious to allow us to have the theater. We don't have a big space to meet, and I found out. So our guys at 5:30 this morning were ultimately running, and then they cleaned the theater better than it's probably ever been cleaned today. So I thank you for allowing us to have that at the theater. I don't know if Eric's here. Thank you. Our guys should clean. They'll be in there with a toothbrush today. What is a pirate is our. This is what we kind of live by. When I got the job, I put these on our doors, and we wrapped them on our doors. So I came up with an acronym to basically describe a pirate. You can hit it all the way. It should pull all the way up. Our pirate is basically, I'm trying to make the kids positive, interested, relentless, attacking, tenacious, and engaged. And that goes with everything they do in life. Starts in the classroom, starts in the community, actually, at Walmart when they help people push in the carts, and we tell them to help people push carts in and pick up trash at Walmart. First, when I got the job here, year one, I cut about 30 kids when I got the job, when I inherited the position, and they just weren't going to make it for me just in our first meeting. So about 2 weeks in, I get a call from Walmart and said, hey, your guys are on the handicap carts driving around the parking lot. Well, that ended real fast, and they went down there, and now ever since then, we make it a habit to go to Walmart and help people out up there. So that's what a pirate is. This is our staff. This is kind of what we do. We educate, matriculate, graduate. We're the most caring, loving, passionate, honest, and loyal staff, I think, in the country. You guys can, I'm getting killed on social media, by the way. So, but you won't see a kid bash me, and you won't see a coach. I mean, that's just what it is. I know what we do. The nation doesn't know, or the world now. They don't know what we do. And so I got broad shoulders. I can take it. I'm a big boy. But the kids know that's all that matters to me. So they know that they're still wanting to come. We have 300 kids we had to turn down in the last 2 weeks, so they're not really shying away from coming here. So I guess I'm not that crazy to them. This season will define us. This is kind of what I put down. Every coach must buy in completely in order for our team to reach its full potential. We need a buy-in from everyone on our campus and obviously our roster along with our great community here in Independence. How do you ask? Simple, build a fatherly relationship that is hard on the outside and warm on the inside. Build a strong relationship with everyone in this room and continue to support our fine student athletes throughout thick and thin. And that's kind of what this year is. I told our staff the other day in our first meeting that this year will define each one of those coaches because basically a bullseye's on our chest. And so creating a culture of consistency, that's number one for us, I believe. We've created a culture already at Independence in the football program, and I think it's permeating through the community. But the most successful programs always use one word when discussing what makes their program thrive, and that is culture. That culture isn't being built overnight, and it isn't easy to create. So you must remain consistent with your players and coaches alike, along with the goals that you have established for your program. Instill in your coaches and players the core philosophies that will guide the season and stick to those guidelines even when times are tough. I think it's about staying the course and trusting the process. It's such a fine line between winning and losing games, and that you have to get your kids to believe, to follow the blueprint. Our blueprint is they must trust the process through thick and thin and everything we're trying to accomplish. So they got to buy in. We're down 21-0. They got to understand that. Graduate is our top priority. I've done this well for a long time, and we've done no different here. Since 2016, when I took the job here, we've graduated more players than anyone in America in a 30-month span. This is all facts. Last year in 2017, we broke a national record. We signed 40 Division I players. We've signed 70 in 2 years. And that's Division I and Division II, which also leads the nation. You go ahead, turn it. The highest GPA and the highest transfer rate among JUCO football playing schools in our conference. So any football playing school that's in our conference, we had the highest GPA of last summer, last fall, and this spring. So for having near 200 guys, you know, it's not that easy. It's not like you have 17 players like volleyball or tennis or smaller school sports. We have 200 guys, and so you average that out, that's pretty good. Indy graduated more football players than any JUCO in America this past fall, and this is kind of what I told our kids today, so I thought I'd bring it. I give our kids brain food every day, if you want to say. But if you want something in life you've never had, you'll have to go do something you've never done. So I told our guys to jump out the dang bowl and have some faith and trust our process. So, you know, that's kind of what we do. And then at the end of the day, our kids know, I always tell them, if it's not on your mind, it'll never be on your finger. So I tell them that all the time, and I think they bought in for the most part. But, you know, I just that's kind of how we are in a nutshell right now at Indy. And I think people don't realize this is just going into year 3. And I guess people watch the show, they think it's like a school that's been thriving in football for 10 or 20 years, when in actuality it's not. We're trying to catch up with the Joneses, to be honest, in every aspect. And so if you watch the show, I haven't watched it yet myself. I probably won't. But, you know, it is players win football games. Coaches screw it up. So that's a true statement that I said on those shows, and you know, I truly believe that. So if we get the kids to go the right way, they have an option. They can make a left or they can make a right, and we try to make sure that the kids following those guys, we make a right turn instead of a left. So end of the day, we get them graduated, we get them to act right in the community and do those things. Usually you win football games at the same time. And then if you get the best players to do that, you know, and get them to go the right way, you usually win a lot of football games. So facilities, all that type of stuff is really, doesn't matter. We're turning kids away. And you know, we have the, no offense to us or to our program, we're behind the 8 ball as far as the other schools we compete with. And I'm 2-0 against Hutchinson, who may have the best facilities. I'm 1-1 versus Butler and 2-0 versus Coffeyville, and all those schools have much better facilities than us. And it doesn't really matter if the kids run through a wall for you. So facilities I've never had in my life, so it's not a big deal with that. We just continue to do right by the kids and get them graduated, and more kids will come. So Dan Barwick needs to make us another dorm room, so we could bring in some more kids because I'm turning away guys right now. So just kidding. But any questions? Anything? Concerns? I'd rather not hear your concerns, but questions? Feel free. All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Jason, thank you for coming to Independence, and thank you for being you. We appreciate it. I can attest to that. Tammy Heldenace called me a week ago, and she said, April, I have a challenge. We've had in 3 days, I think it was like 100 to 130 applications of new students after Last Chance U was released. And so when Jason says, I need a new dorm room, it's true. We're trying to find housing for a huge group of additional students coming out to ICC. So they've had an incredible positive impact, not only on online sales, but students wanting to come to ICC to get their education, to schools who are wanting to come to ICC to take tours and bring their students in for future students. So good things are happening in Independence. With that, we also have all sorts of other good things happening in Independence, and I've got several shout-outs. So those of you who want to shout out, remember at the end of this, you come up and you give us a real quick 1 minute of what you've got going on. So those of you who have shout-outs, please come on up. I will hand you the mic and tell us what you've got going on. Come on, Miss Lacey.
Good morning. I actually have two things. The first, I am Lacey with Southeast Kansas Works. We are hosting next Tuesday, August the 7th from 11:30 to 1 in Coffeyville at the Lanning's Downtown Grill, a lunch and learn on registered apprenticeship. So if you are a business who is interested in learning how registered apprenticeship can benefit your company, or an educator who would like to learn how registered apprenticeship can benefit your students, we invite you to join us. Registration is free. We just ask that you RSVP, which you can do at our website, or get a hold of me at the office and I'll get you down on our list. And then also on behalf of YPI, we are hosting a golf tournament on Friday, August the 24th. It is open to the community. You do not have to be a YPI member in order to join us. So that is starting at 8 o'clock. We invite you to come out. Even if you're not a golfer, come out and listen to the DJ. Thank you.
All right. So you don't have to be 40-ish for that? Just checking it. See, April?
Yep, we can go.
Tabitha Snodgrass with Main Street, and I just want to invite you all out. We've joined forces with ICC, and we're hosting a block party on August 11th in the 200 block of Penn. And that is move-in day at the college. So the kids will be moving in, getting orientation, and then joining their parents and coming downtown that day for a community fair of sorts, and they'll have games. So we want to invite you to, if you have a business or organization, to come downtown, set up a table, and just show your community community spirit. Just get your name out there, let them know what you have to offer the parents and their students. So we appreciate that. 4 to 6 on August 11th. Thanks.
Good morning. I have a couple things that I want to talk about. First, I would like to talk about our new preschool opening up. It's Riley Early Learning Center. We have an open house for the entire community on Friday, August 17th. It'll start about 4:30 to 6. It'll be in the paper. We'll get it advertised. But the building has been totally renovated. We have 4 classrooms in there. We'll have a morning and an afternoon preschool. As of yesterday, we had about 110 kids signed up. Some of those are 3-year-olds. There's about 24 3-year-olds at this time. The rest are all 4-year-olds that we were trying to actually get into the building. Our goal is to get all 160 kids that typically come to kindergarten in our district to go to preschool prior to coming to kindergarten. In years past, we've got about 80 of them to 90 of them in the private schools out there, and then the one that we did, the smaller one. And so our goal is to get all 160 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds eventually to preschool prior to coming to kindergarten so that they're prepared, and that's part of the new goals of the Kansans Can vision that Randy Watson has. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly has done an outstanding job for the school district for years. He sponsors and takes care of organizing the Stuff the Bus program for us. The Stuff the Bus program took place last Saturday. It was very successful, but the need is really great within our schools. And I think that Jim has done an excellent job looking out for our schools in the legislature. He brought the JAG program. I know Jason kind of said that I had something to do with it. Jim called me, I called Jason, and that was my part. So I didn't do a lot. Jim Kelly does outstanding things for our school, for our community, and I want to thank him for Stuff the Bus. If you're interested in helping kids, because the need is great, and we still have needs that we have, contact Jim at Community National Bank, or you could take donations into there. Thanks, Jim, for all you do.
Well, I invite anybody to come go ride with me this morning. That's what I do a couple of times a week. Really, I invite each of you, if you have not attended a band concert this summer by the Mid-Continent Band, next Tuesday is our final concert. And for those of you who have not gotten your fill of marches, this is a March-centric concert. So we're going to give, I think there's 6 or 8 marches on this concert. So come and enjoy. Thank you.
April. Sure. I'm Gary Morrison, and I've got the honor of standing up here for a couple of organizations I'm very proud to be a part of. First, I'd like to let everybody know we are doing the Southeast Kids Have Talent Show again this year. That will be in September on the 22nd at 1 o'clock. What I'm here today, though, is to say, please grab a flyer and take it home to those kids that are talented that you have back at home so we can get them involved and get them on the stage. That is going to be, the application needs to be done by August 17th, so that's why I'm up here today. So please get those kids out there, get them practicing. We'd love to have them. We had a great show last year. This is our 3rd year, so I think we've got it down now. So please grab those flyers on the way out. The second would be Community Chest. The Independence Area Community Chest, as you know, the fundraising organization that helps out about a little over 25 organizations, nonprofit organizations, the community that try to do a lot of good. We try to go out there and raise funds for those organizations so that they can focus on what they're doing and completing the mission that they have set for themselves. That being said, we're coming up to the end of our campaign year, and we are short. We're trying to raise $110,000. That's what we gave away last year, guys. So we're trying to recoup that and raise that. So I would invite you and ask you and thank all of those who have already donated. But if you haven't donated yet this year, please think about doing so. Flyers are over there, and you can just mail in your donation. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eric Wolf. I'm the head of theater at Independence Community College. I would like to invite you all to come out on August 25th. We're having our 15th annual 24-hour high school play festival. We have the largest event this year. We have 8 schools participating. We've normally had about 3 or 4. These students come in at about 8 o'clock in the evening. They write the plays overnight. The next morning, the kids come in, they rehearse them, and then they perform them at 7 o'clock the next day. And it's just this intense, fun, local event that we'd love you all to come out for. August 25th, 7 p.m. Please come see us.
I'm Anita Chappé. I'm also with ICC. If you guys haven't heard about enough awesome stuff at the college and nothing yet has seemed interesting to you, this one might do the trick. We are putting together a Taste of ICC cookbook, and we are asking for submissions right now. If any of you guys like to cook, have a really cool recipe, you can send that in along with a picture of it to taste@ndcc.edu. We're hoping to get all the submissions by September 1st, and then we're going to have out at ICC West on November 4th an event where the people who submitted recipes, if they want to participate, can make their recipes for a community tasting. Look for more information on the tasting coming up, but please submit your recipes by September 1st. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Janice Reese with Independence Family Medicine that's owned by Wilson Medical Center. And we're a proud sponsor this year of the Independence Runs Back to School, and I wanted to also just let anybody that you might know that needs to still get a sports physical this year, that we do offer those free, and that you just need to call Independence Family Medicine and schedule any time that you need. They need to get a physical. They can do it on their time. So call 331-2400.
Thank you. Wow, what a day. On behalf of the Independence Chamber of Commerce and the City of Independence, I'd like to thank Todd, Becky, and Jason, and our other two speakers for coming out and spending the morning with us and giving us some great information and some great updates. I'd also like to thank our business sponsor, USD 446 Educational Foundation, and their board members for presenting this morning and sponsoring all of our goodies. So with this, I promise you, Lisa will be back in September. So get it on your schedule. Our next First Friday will be September 7th. As you leave here, if you've got questions, I'm sure that our speakers would answer any of them. Don't forget that we've got flyers over on the table that will give you a little bit more information on some of the things that we've touched upon. With that, go have an awesome weekend and enjoy Independence. Thank you.